Good evening, and we are live at Erev Party Radio with your host Arid. Right now, Zan is someone I'm not sure whether he will come online or would he not. I don't know what he's doing, but I'll be hosting the show. Before we start the show, we will have some complimentary music. This is a very good song, which I really love it. It is actually a soulful song, and sadly some of you guys don't understand South Korean, neither do I. But this is a good song and I hope you guys enjoy it. It's Father by Psy and featuring Lang. Enjoy.
너무 앞만 보면 살아오셨네. 어느새 자식들 머리 커서 말도 안 듣네. 한평생 저 자식 밥그릇에 청춘 걸고 새끼들 사진 보며 한 푼이라도 더 벌고 눈물 먹고 목숨 걸고 힘들어도 털고 일어나 이러다 쓰러지면 어쩌나. 아빠는 슈퍼맨이야 얘들아 걱정 마. 위에서 짓눌러도 팀낼 수도 없고 아래에서 치고 올라와도 별수 없네. 무섭네 세상 도망가고 싶네. 진짜 그는 참고 있네. 맨날 아무것도 모른 채내 꿈에서 뒹굴거리는 새끼들의 장난 때문에 나는 산다. 힘들어도 간다 여보 얘들아. 아빠 출근한다. 어쩜 맥말로 이제 넘어가진 난 친구 완전 제 방망망 돌리고 정말만이 진짜 어느새 생기는 아이들에게 아빠는 바라는 하나 정직하고 건강한 척 하나 이 바르나 바보단 잘할 테니 학교에 학원 과외 다른 아빠들과의 경쟁에서 이기고자 무엇이든지 다 해줘야 해. 또 많이 벌어야 해. 니네 아빠한테 잘해. 아이들은 친구들을 사귀고 많은 얘기 나누고 보고 듣고 더 많은 것을 해주는 남의 아빠와 비교 더 좋은 것을 사주는 남의 아빠와 나를 비교 갈수록 싸가지 없어지는 아이들과 막아지 막히는 한 사람의 등산에 외로워도 간다 여보 얘들아. 아빠 출근한다. 아빠 어쩜 맥말로 이제 넘어가진 난 친구 완전 제 방망망 돌리고 정말만이 진짜 여보 어느새 세월이 많이 흘렀어. 첫째는 사회로 둘째 놈은 대학으로 이제 온 가족이 함께하고 싶지만 아버지기 때문에 얘기하기 어렵구만. 세월에 무슨 상하면 눈물이 고이고 아이들은 맛보고 이고 아이고 산책에 나가야겠어 여보 함께 가주시오. 어쩜 맥말로 이제 넘어가진 난 친구 완전 제 방망망 돌리고 정말만이 진짜
Beautiful, really. I really love that song. It really hits my heart when I saw the animation of that song. It's called Psy. This is actually sung by Psy. It's written by Lang, featuring Lang, one of the best pianists in modern history. Sorry about that. I'm a bit sick, so my mom just brought tea for me. Yeah, so I'll be having the show for an hour or 1.5 hours because I'm really sick. But anyway, I can manage this. Hopefully, if Sa comes online, he can take over. Okay, now to news. United States of America has declared war on a particular famous nation. It is recently, as our president announced, in a form of announcement to the Congress. We had declared war on Ukraine for 20 gold, and also Congress has proposed a natural enemy against Ukraine. This is going to be interesting as Ukraine is one of the most powerful nation. It is one of the it is a nation which has one of the best militaries. But however, we can defeat it because we can put more than 10 million or even 20 million damages. 10 million damage alone without any sort of weapons, as we proved in the Battle of Cuba. This is a testament to our strength. It is a test on our unity, and America has been united all along. Its politics has been united. The two parties that we are, that is the Federalist Party and the DUP, they are those two parties are one of the most united parties in United States of America. Even though the DUP is an opposition party, it is still a great party. It is still helping our government to come to a compromise solution. And we have come to many compromise solutions with them and the Fed. And there is no hostilities between the two parties. And it's great to see such unity in our country. Uh, yeah, I'll be taking more song requests, guys. And I saw Brace's song. I will take that, Brace. Thank you so much for recommending that song. I've heard that song before. I know it's that good. I'm not a fan of these type of songs. No offense. Coming to you live, and we can see that our country um declaring war on Ukraine is going to be a challenge, but it's not impossible as we have come across all odds. We defeated Cuba. We by overwhelmingly we have as a nation strived together. However, let's go back to news. As you can see, the DUP, as we were talking about, there was a small issue with the DUP, but however, some of it is classified. I cannot tell this on air. But the issue is the PP or the party president in the DUP. Is it DUP, Democratic Union? Yeah, DUP. Sorry, I'm a bit confused. Anyways, the party itself is failing up to a certain level. Why? Because the PP or the party president is an inactive member. His name is Buki. He's one of the famous members in. He was a Fed in E-Republic, and he's known. He's a well-known citizen in E-Republic. He has done a lot and contributed a lot as well. But however, the issue here is he's very inactive. He's really inactive in e-revolution, and that's going to create a huge setback. And I'm not sure how he got elected, but rumors is there's a possible issue that the election is very scandalous if you look at it, and it's um, a huge problem. So because of that, hopefully we can resolve it, and hopefully ZAR 97 can be party president. If not, the party will be really inactive, and nothing much can be done other than wait another month until it can be freed from its inactive clutches. Okay, we'll be going to another song request. This is by Brace. Oh, Diokilo is online. Cool, I will send him the link. This is by Brace Kelly. What's this song? Oh yeah, Kevin Gates. I don't get tired. It's a good song, but I'm not that fan. I'm not a fan of this type of music, though. Anyway, enjoy.
I don't get tired, I get my run the clock. It's this or it's nothing if this all I got. Sound loud, I ain't going there. 2 shows and a mic check. Truth coming through jokes now. Boy gave him a nice check. Cracking up when I said Dwight who? I mean Dwight well. Come like a brother, your lips. Go and get Mike Else. In my business, but you really not like them. I'm sorry, I don't keep going till I'm hungry. See the Jake, she ain't even want me. I can speak game when I'm talking. I can beat game when performing. With the pound game, I'm performing. Back to Yo Gotti first mixtape. I was trying to see if I could grip tape. Tip album had dropped in. And if you try to blame me, if the thing make it bang, ASAP. Still tell my mama sorry, man. I wish you swear to God. Baby, we in this shit together. Man, I know this shit been hard. I redid it from my wrist and every mix that other part. it's gonna get tired. Cause we'll get out the fish fry. Still tan on my insides. Sunshine beat me insane. I got a beat, would you believe? Scared of Kendrick Lamar. Boy, mind frame with the art. Boy, was the red on the wall. Said he was king of New York. At the rap game and all. He heard the comebacks like, nah, I'm not about to agree with that. Cause no, that's not right. Call me crazy, you brainwashed. You don't know how much pain costs. Caring less what a chain costs. Say, how much the whole train costs? Man, I wish I had a big dog. Hold on, wait, I'm the big dog. I'ma pull up in my chick car. Bend the bend in a switch car. Hold through like I'm Erev. Never talk, just action. Straight city try to check. Real let somebody hit me. I'm caring less about what happened. When Reagan fell, I was back in. When he got a boat out of boats, I don't get tired at the same time. Me and Taz go to Brook, man, they ain't got I was on the same line. Peanut, Drake, and Timmy got shipped at the same time. Satellite camps at the tennis centers, I was going hard with the concrete. CB, Brandon Oxford, gonna game with the boxing. Still accustomed to the boxes. On an iron bed in your boxer. Being single, he a monster. Got me saying I'ma die about it. Shot twice in and out of jail with a broke leg, I ain't lie about it. Wrist call, shot glance away. Text back, get women gates. Call, bring bomb money. High speed chase on the interstate while she was pregnant with Casa. Went back to jail in Chicago. Cook County on a level 4. Laid back, but I'm a dog though. Me and Woody from Detroit. We were senators in Chicago. But I revoked on a violation. Back to jail in Chicago. Transferred back to Penn Road. Had to eat the warrant and parole home. Ask Johnson, I went to jail. They stopped the car, never told on. Praying everything get dismissed. Kevin, focus on your career. Boy, hold up in my headphones. And that trapper died, that's my diss. And it's looking like no offense. Contact visit, just a kiss. Told my lady she was beautiful. If it wasn't looking how real. She give her, I'm a cop feeler. But I really want her for the real. Everybody's so tough now. I guess me and you don't appeal. Welcome home, Lee Lucas. Coming home on a bill. Lawyer lied for a year straight. On the birthday came again. My presence is my protection. I'ma get tired, I'm a weapon. Told Look, it was game time only. This time it's a blessing. School call got accepted. I ain't selling nothing but a message. School call got accepted. I ain't selling nothing but a message. Down after let down, after let down, after let down, after setback, after setback. Get another door shut in my face. Feel like giving up, but how much can I take? Compare me to them, but they nothing like gates. Just being honorable. What did he say? So try to keep up with the ground they can't. To my children, try to be a great example. Work ethic, who they taking after still work hard at whatever job. This is stepping stone to the top. Learning from every time you ever flop. Got the mentality, don't ever stop. Pick yourself up, give it all that you got. Nobody places me in places I'm stationed. Or something that's amazing and it mean a lot. Something that's amazing and it mean a lot. I don't get tired, I get my on the clock. When others be sleeping, I'm scheming, I'm blind. This or is nothing, it's just all I got. It's this or is nothing, it's just all I got. I be feeling like I got away with crime sometimes. I fuck the game, but I try to stay away from the clowns. So I ain't got time for you. I don't want to hear no war stories. I don't care. I really need for you to kill you. Rest in peace to this, but I done killed more people than a fake rapper. Get time.
Thank you, Brace, for that wonderful song. That was a good request. But anyways, yeah, sorry, my throat is paining. Yeah, as usual, that's a great song, Brace. Thank you so much for sharing your song request with us. Okay, back to the news, as usual. Nothing much going on in Congress. Congress members are doing well. A few laws have been discussed, such as a law to amend Speaker of the House, how they are elected. Basically, we believe in a participatory election for Speaker of the House. That is proposed by myself, the law, and co-sponsored by Zan97, you guessed it. Yeah, basically the law was to amend how they are elected by getting parties to nominate their own characters instead of everybody participate. Everybody should participate, but all parties, the top 5 parties, who puts their members in Congress, at least a party should have one congressional member in order for the party to nominate a candidate for Speaker of the House. But the problem is, when we were trying to amend it, we need to amend it in a legalist form. However, even though I'm studying law, my English is not very good when it comes to writing. Here and there are mistakes I make, and it's kind of hard. So when we were trying to write this law, when I tried to make this law into a more legalist stance, it didn't come out well. So that is why that law will be a bit. They will put it on hold for a while. The Speaker of the House Amendment Act. Basically, it is to give parties more power when electing Speaker of the House and make it more realistic in real life, like real life situations, how they are elected. The bill was discussed, and there were so many good ideas, like Hanbury proposing it should be more into real life, like how they are elected. And I did read about how the U.S. Congress is elected in real life, the Speaker of the House and Deputy Speaker of the House, and that's really interesting when looking at that. But however, Hanbury system could work, but it might create a huge issue. It might create more problems, I feel. However, my one, which is taken from Hanbury's one, a bit modified with Psalm 97's proposal, seems to be a better idea. But right now, Congress doesn't feel like changing how they are elected. However, I feel that the method that I proposed and sorry, Psalm 97, Hanbury proposes more democratic and more participatory. It creates more, and also when we're talking about voters, I want to make sure that a person who gets first place in Congress, or a person who gets the top list, who gets the highest votes, they should get something. And it is kind of unfair from where I'm coming from. The member of parliament who gets, our country is a parliamentary system. The member of parliament who gets the highest vote gets something. Basically, they get a ministry, or they become opposition leader, or not opposition leader, sorry, second place opposition, but or they get something. They get some position. But however, in our case, in the game, or in e-revolution, if you even if you get the highest votes, you do not get anything, and that's kind of a shame because Sharp 97, Mr. Sharp, sorry, no, apologize, I got confused the name. Mr. Sharp got the highest vote. He got 18 votes, I believe. Yeah, he got 18 votes, yet he didn't get a huge promotion. But he Speaker of the House because people voted for him as Speaker of the House. Currently, our election system for Speaker of the House is where anyone can nominate any member parliament, any congressional member can nominate their candidate. Most of the candidates nominated Mr. Sharp, because he seems to be an ideal choice to run America. Well, also, also we're going to invite President Abraham Lincoln, Honorable President Abraham Lincoln. Apologize. Honorable President Abraham Lincoln will join Era Party Radio shortly. Sorry, I'm swallowing words because my throat aches. Anyways, uh, when looking at the diplomacy with United States of America and Japan, the diplomacy, we are trying to rebuild our diplomatic tensions that we had, because which was so close to declare war basically by either country. Japan was not only rude to our diplomats or to our foreign ministry. They were not only rude, they threatened war if we didn't give Alaska or sell Alaska to them. And not only it infringes the sovereignty of the United States of America, but it also infringes the integrity of diplomacy. It infringes the sovereignty of our citizens. It infringes. Oh, San and someone just came back. That's great to hear. We'll give him the link to join the channel. Yeah, that's great to hear that he's back on track. Yep. Give me a moment. Also, is there any song request? No, I forgot how to share the link. uh, Here it is. Found it. Yeah, I gave the link to Channel 7. Hopefully, he can join. As discussed, I forgot that. I'm really confused because since Trumpet came along and now he's not there, he wanted to start a program called the International. the INT, I believe, the International Radio Broadcast Station. That was a good idea, but he's inactive and he left E-Revolution. However, when looking at the plan, Zan 7 agreed that he will broadcast his show on Thursdays or on Wednesdays. I'm not exactly sure whether he's doing that, but it's either Thursdays or Wednesdays. And I agree that Saturday will be my day, Saturday and Tuesdays. However, I'm not doing my shifts on Tuesdays because I thought the agreement is null and void since, um, sorry, throat, since Trumpet left E-Revolution and he's never been heard again. And since he left, the INT is being inactive, and that's sad. It's a good idea. It had potential, but since the owner left, and I cannot just take, okay, this is my show, this is my show. We came up with this idea, and they take it by force with Zana and so on, and then we own the show, the INT. It's a good program, but however, I don't like taking another person's work, another person's idea, and I hope he comes back. We're trying to contact Trumpet, but unfortunately, we can't. We are unable to contact him because nobody shared his contacts with us. I don't know why is that. Yeah. Anyways, back what we were talking about. Abraham Lincoln. President Abraham Lincoln said that we'll be declaring war. I think we stated that. I really like how he informed his citizens. He tried doing diplomacy with Ukraine, and almost every country tried diplomacy, but oh, welcome, Star 97, to Erev Party Radio. And as well, you're the co-host of Erev Party Radio. Welcome and good evening. How are you
Thank
doing?
you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay. So how have you been doing?
pretty good. How about yourself?
Same here, but I'm kind of sick as usual. My throat is paining.
That's fine. I said I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, but kind of sick a little bit.
I'll be right back. I gotta do something.
And as usual, our great president, hero of the real life United States of America, the founder of Erev United States of America, Abraham Lincoln. I believe he's at work and multitasking still.
Or not.
Oh, okay. So I was just wondering because you were doing something. So, President Abraham Lincoln, welcome back to the show. As always, you are the honorable host of our show, indirectly, wink, wink.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can now hear you. That time it was like an echo, so now it's okay.
Oh, okay. I think I know why. It was again the microphone settings.
Oh. Google Hangout, sometimes there's an issue like that. I want to know why, what's going on.
I have no idea. Erev, can you give me the YouTube link for the show? It's not for me, but yeah, I kinda need it.
Is it for publication?
No. Well, not right now. More for someone.
Oh, okay. The show right now, right? The link right now. Is it the Google Hangout link or the YouTube link you want?
I want a YouTube link.
Oh, okay. Sorry, okay, just very curious about the questions because I thought you would be sharing the link via a newspaper. So, anyways, I will give you the link.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome anytime. Wait, for someone. Is it? I know it'll sound rude, but I'm really curious. Who is it?
Oh, come on, ask me a serious question.
Okay, never mind then.
it, it's not even that hard to guess, you know?
Yeah, I'm just thinking there were two options in my head, but I thought you were giving it to either a Japanese representative, that's one, or the second one to someone who we know and love, and who is a mysterious agent.
No, not exactly a mysterious agent.
Okay, then it's correct. My guess was correct then.
Um, okay, I'll just say it. It's Tanishk. There you go.
No, no, it's okay. I thought for a second it was either a Japanese representative or as you stated, Tanish. I didn't need to like a shout out on the radio show. But sorry, Abe, okay, if it sounded rude. Curiosity kills me sometimes. Abe, are you on?
Oh, yes, I'm here.
I'm really sorry if I asked that question. I just was curious because I thought it was a Japanese representative. Since we were talking about Japan and how their diplomacy was kind of unorthodox, so that's what's happening. We were discussing that. Why I
I'm
didn't
back.
continue that discussion. And Zana 7,
So, well, you guys are free to ask me all the questions you need.
I see diplomacy in Japan. How our diplomatic missions are doing right now, because even though they infringed our sovereignty, even though they insulted our country's integrity, how right now the status of a diplomatic mission with the Japanese government?
Well, let's get a few things clear. The referendum was overwhelmingly clear on one aspect. Um, our country doesn't want war with Japan. At least the population doesn't want war with Japan. That bit was pretty much clear. So, for the time being, and considering most of the population decided that the terms of the agreement weren't exactly the most suitable for us, for the time being, we have a neutral stance towards Japan. Now, whether this stance will change into a war conflict or not, right now I would say it depends on Japan. Uh, I, ha- I have no intentions of striking Japan. In fact, I'm more than happy to leave them alone and have them do their own thing. Now, I spoke with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Japan. I believe it was sometime yesterday, and it seems that from the government of Japan is the entire availability to sign or to negotiate a new deal. So, but I think we're heading towards a peaceful coexistence, I guess.
But will there be any sort of what do you call representation or some sort of compensation? Because I believe that the way they approach was undiplomatic, rude, and more than that, insulted the integrity of the government and the United States of America's citizens. So, are there going to be any sort of repayments or compensation?
If they are going to compensate, no. You see, I only spoke with the minister for like 5-10 minutes. We were both on quite a hurry yesterday. We did decide to talk again about this, but whether it will be a public apology or some other type of compensation, I have no idea yet. But I did see from the comments on the referendum that some of our population do want a public apology for for the for the threats.
Are we getting one? That's what I'm. That's what the United States of America citizens are curious. Are we getting a public apology?
Well, I can't really say for sure if we are getting an apology or not. It may happen or it may not happen. It will depend on how the negotiations happen. So that's the kind of situation we'll have to wait until at least we can set a new meeting.
Actually, it's a curious question, but it's related not to foreign affairs, but it's related to the government itself. Can't we have like a debate session live? Like everyone in Congress gets to get a like on a radio show, or not even on a radio show, but at least on a different platform and debate on their issues. It needed there's no need for it to be live, but however that will be easier because typing and waiting for a response sometimes annoys me.
Um, do you mean like a chat room where congressmen and the government can speak? Or what exactly are you trying to suggest, Arif?
What I suggest is like a chat room, but on a like either on Skype or on Google Hangout, where everyone can who has the link can debate on laws, on what's happened to our country situation, or even a filibuster.
Well, there is one thing we could do. Let's see. Most of the most of the voting and all that, and typing and the responses should happen on the forums. However, if people want to talk about a law or something, we should have we could have a chat room, something for Congress. I know it's used on Erev. On Erev, there is an IRC room for Congress. That's something we can actually do. Or we can try, I don't know, maybe a hangout. It really depends. Honestly, I'm all for using IRC, but some congressmen might not be so receptive to that. I mean, there's at least 2 or 3 congressmen that really prefer to just use the forums and avoid the chat rooms at all. I believe we both know Arutan, for example. He's probably the most clear example. He participates on the forums, but he terminantly refuses to join IRC.
That's kind of, but we could.
So so what I'm trying to point out is there are just, whatever way you want to tackle this, you will only have a somewhat ideal solution. You won't have an ideal solution because not all the people will be receptive to it.
So I have a question. So what's the plans for the interviews moving forward since we have 2 of them now?
Can you repeat the question?
So what's the plans with the national military unit since we have 2 national military units?
Sorry, I got lost.
Uh, shall I rephrase the question for Zahn 97?
If you want to.
Is it okay with you, Zahn 97? Because
I can rephrase it if you want me to, but you can repeat it if you want to, it doesn't matter.
okay, I'll rephrase it. Abraham Lincoln, President Abraham Lincoln, what Zahn 97 I think means is what is the future for both MUs since we have 2 military units in the country right now?
Oh, if there are plans for the military units. Right now, we enjoy a system where the military units get part of the national supplies that we receive from several contracts. One of the main reasons, I don't know if you guys actually read my latest article with a pack of suggestions to improve the game. Um, some of the suggestions were actually targeted towards the military units in order to make the game easier, especially for people in command and especially for people who, and also for the regular player. I mean, it's a lot easier if there is a supply system implemented in the game or second commanders and that kind of thing. Those are things that we actually need. Now, if you're asking me if I do have plans for the military units in specific, no, I don't. Each military unit should be managed by their commanders. Each commander manages the way they see fit. Now, as we all know, the military units should cooperate together. Maybe something we could do would be little competitions between the military units in order to boost the damage output. That would be something interesting to do. But all in all the military units should all work for a common goal, which is input the highest damage possible for our country and for our allies.
Agreed. However, when looking at the current situation, do you have faith in both military units, that is, the United States militia and SEAL Team 6?
Well, I don't see any problem in having two or more national military units. I mean, let's face it, this game is very, very similar to that other game. Even in terms of mechanics, it is. And for many, many years, the USA on Erev had several national military units. So I really don't see why we shouldn't have. Now, if you're asking me if the SEALs are moving to private anytime soon, no, they're not. Mostly because we don't have really, really that much of an active population to do so.
Agreed. Our population is increasing rapidly. We have right now 400 citizens, new citizens. But however, when looking at the 400, only 60 of them vote, 68 of them vote, 20 of them are on the channel, and 10 of them actually chat. So, do you think our country can go a little bit more faster, or at least get the activity around the citizens? Because we have been trying, and still there won't be. There's more citizens do not respond. The DOI has tried, and the DOE has tried, still no response. So, is there any proper solution for that, Abraham Lincoln?
Well, in order to understand those numbers, you need to understand the type of citizens there is. But usually, I split them in two big groups. You have the group of actual active citizens, and with actual active citizens, I'm talking about citizens who are who actually do their stuff in game and actually get in the chats, get in the forums, they chat and they do all that kind of stuff. Some of them more, some of them less, but those are the real active citizens. Then you have another group. The other group is what I call the two clickers. Now, the two clickers are the type of people that just log in the game for like 10 minutes. And during those 10 minutes, they log in, they train, they work, they eat, they fight, and it's done. And they vote if they have to vote. And usually the two clickers, oh, and some of the two clickers actually read newspapers. Uh, Now, if you're asking me, the two clickers are what I call most of a toss because you never know when they're going to be online. You can't really predict when they are going to drop damage, when they are not, and all that kind of stuff. It's impossible. And usually the two clickers will not engage into programs. Okay, maybe they will try to get into a program which could give them some stuff, food, guns, whatever, but they will not go and chat with you or something like that. Those are actually the two clickers. Now, if you're asking me, uh, we can try using the NASA program to get more citizens into our country. That is the entire point of the program. Now, you have to understand that from like 10 people who joined the game, if you get one or two that will fall into the active citizen group, you'll be lucky. If you get 3 or 4, you'll be extremely lucky already. And well, if the remaining 6 actually remain in the game, then we are really on the good track. And well, I'm just really throwing numbers because it is more or less what I see. And if those 6, like 3 or 4 remain as 2 clickers, we are okay.
But it's kind of a shame. They should get involved in what do you call the political system. Even though they're getting involved in the military, they should get more involved in electing a representative, in helping our country. I really wish they could do more. I really wish because I really like to talk with every single one of them.
Well, there are ways to actually reach the 2 clickers. You see, usually it is up to the active population to actually reach the 2 clickers, and there's a reason why most of the 2 clickers never reach any, or rarely reach any type of office position or any type of political position, precisely because they are 2 clickers and they don't want to, or they don't feel the incentive to do so.
You have lights on that are keeping you awake, and you're going to be upset when you get sick because you didn't rest when you
Oh,
could.
what happened?
Sorry, that's Sound 97. It's microphone.
Oh, yeah. Well, as I was saying, okay, I was speaking about active population. Yes, I kind of lost myself in a bit. Well, as I was saying, those people don't feel the incentive to do so. The only way you can actually get them to do so is to actually reach them out the most effective way possible, and that is through the in-game message. And even the in-game message is not entirely effective because some of those players don't read the messages either.
I've got a funny sub request. He says, the person says, "Hi, Son 97. In this game, you can get 5 gold for every 100 subscribers. Please subscribe to this newspaper and I'll subscribe to yours if needed. Here's a link. Right below, write me by replying to this message, subscribe number, and link to the newspaper if needed. Help each other to get 5 gold coins. Sub for sub, thank you."
Oh. Oh, sub for sub.
It made me laugh. I almost wanted to vote sub for sub, but I didn't.
No, but it's kind of annoying. Not only the sub for sub, but how recently the admins resetted our counter.
Yeah, that was kind of. I understand why they did it, but kind of upsetting.
Well, you guys may find this funny, but surprisingly enough, I have more subscribers than I had before the admins decided to remove all the subscribers. I had around 70 something, and now I'm somewhere around 80 something. So I don't know. Maybe in a few days I could get maybe in a few days I could actually get the media mogul medal.
But it's kind of
And,
fun.
and it actually feels good because I know I've earned it by writing good things.
Yeah, but
I
it's kind of fun. Sorry, I cut off again. Abe, continue.
I was just saying that it actually feels good because I didn't go around and ask sub for sub, please. No, people subbed it because they like it.
Yeah, but it's kind of unfair for newspapers who didn't go for sub to sub. For an example, I think even Sun 97, not Sun 97, most newspapers who didn't go for sub to sub, even including me as well.
Yeah,
I
I get new sub for sub on my newspaper. I just started a newspaper a few days ago.
Oh, okay, that's great. You didn't suffer from the reset counter.
No.
Anyways, newspapers like mine and most other newspapers who are legitimate, who didn't go sub to sub, lost almost all of their subscribers, and it's kind of unfair to look at for punishing us just because of the populations.
Well, come on. I never did sub for sub and I lost all my subscribers. All of them.
Yeah. Was there a lot of complaints to the admins over it?
Um, well, there were complaints, but it was the final decision of the admins,
Uh-huh.
not really something we could do.
Okay, we'll be taking a commercial break. Hopefully, nobody has put a song request, so I'll put one of my own music. I hope you guys will enjoy this. I love this song.
Hey there, shadow. You didn't seem to care at all when you watched me go. I know your love is just a dream. You were only 17. You're the only love I've known. So please just let me go if you're dead. 'Cause it's all kills this heart. So please set me free. Kill the spark. I've been gone from this world through it seems like a millennia. Looking for nothing short of a miracle. I only ever wanted to come home. So won't you let me go? When I have no one left, I can run away. Will you lie to me, tell me I'll be okay? Close my eyes and lay me in my tomb. Now pull the trigger and set me home. So how did I get so far from my yesterdays? Another broken heart, now just a memory. I should have left you in the dark. I should have left this awful town. Never found out how to love. So I don't wanna know of all the things that you regret. Now that we're dead and over and done, get away from me and set my heart under the rug. 'Cause I've been gone from this world for it seems like millennia. Looking for nothing short of a miracle. I only ever wanted to come home. So won't you let me go? When I have you left, I can run away. When you lie to me, tell me I'll be okay. eyes and lay me in my tomb. You pull the trigger and set me home. I've been gone from this world, though it seems like millennia. Looking for nothing short of a miracle. I only ever wanted to come home. So won't you let me go? When I have nowhere left, I can run away. Will you lie to me, tell me I'll be okay? Close my eyes and lay me in my tomb. Pull the trigger and send me.
I love this song. This song was what you call sung by Crown Empire. The song's name is Millennia. It's the acoustic version. I love this song. Yeah, now back to where's Song 97? Okay, since he disappeared, he's known for.
I I haven't disappeared. I'm actually here.
Oh, Abe, sorry. I thought he also disappeared as well.
No, I was just silent reading something.
Awesome. So, what are you reading right now?
Yeah, well, recent cabinet information that I will not say it out.
Okay, then never mind then.
Yeah, I was just speaking with my Secretary of State too, so there's that. Yes, I know, even though I'm in the middle of an interview, uh, I also tend to multitask and govern the country too. So there's that.
Sorry for disturbing you. So, was it
No, it's perfectly okay.
okay? So, since R97 is away, I hope he'll come back. Um, yeah. So back to where we were. What we were, yeah, we were asking about now the recent declaration of war when it came to the Ukraine scenario. Uh, what was the main reason why the United States of America declared war Ukraine? Because most citizens are curious about that.
Well, I placed on the shouts the reason, at least the main reason, but there are a few things here at play. The main reason goes pretty much to the story about why Ukraine left Eagle. So let's see things this way. Poland was fighting their battles in Germany, and Poland and Germany decided to actually coexist in peace. Okay, Poland still has most of the German regions, but it's a decision that both countries have. In the meanwhile, some of the Ukrainian citizens, who are battle hero hunters, decided to go and fight for Germany against Poland. Now, Poland got mad, tried to sort out the situation with Ukraine, which was at the time in the same alliance as we all were, and the Ukrainian government didn't respond back to Poland. Which, well, it soured the relations even worse, and Poland decided to open a natural enemy against Ukraine. Okay, it's not a declaration of war, it's just a natural enemy so that Poland could actually have a better boost if there were a fight against Ukrainian players. Now, what happened next? Ukraine got angry and attempted to kick out Poland from the alliance. What happened next? Well, there was a vote. Ukraine presented an ultimatum saying, well, either you guys kick Poland out or we are out. Turns out that the alliance voted against kicking out Poland, which triggered Ukraine to leave. Now, we all knew it would be a matter of time until Ukraine decided to go to war with Poland. We didn't know when, but we just knew it would happen. The president of Ukraine at the time was very clear about that. Now, a few days ago, Ukraine declared war against Poland, and the attack started. Now, Poland being one of the closest allies of the United States cannot tolerate that Ukraine keeps attacking them, even much less when Ukraine shares a border with the United States at the current moment. So, the decision to actually declare war goes along with the fact that Ukraine decided to bully Poland, and goes along with the fact that it is part of a broad alliance strategy that is in plan. In other words, at this current moment, Ukraine is most likely going to face a two-front war, if not a three-front war, considering that Ukraine is being attacked in one side by Poland, in another side by Sweden, and now from the other side by the United States.
It's kind of curious. I do understand why it is happening, but however, it will be a tough battle declaring war in Ukraine. It's a bigger challenge than even Japan, I believe, and it's almost impossible if you look at the invasion.
Uh, Here's the thing. If we attack, which is going to happen most likely, if we attack, let's imagine we attack Russia. Okay, the battle can work two ways. It either will drain the damage out of Europe, which, okay, we can say that we might lose that battle, but it gives Poland a chance to actually win easily, or Ukraine will just ignore us and they will lose a region. Now, here comes the funny part. Ukraine lost in 5 major battles against Eagle today. 5.
Against
It
what?
wasn't. Ukraine lost 5 major battles against Eagle today.
Oh,
It wasn't just Poland. They lost a couple resistance wars in the UK, and they lost something else. I know there's an article out there about it, but they lost a few battles. Oh, and yes, and they lost against Sweden. I forgot to mention that. So let's face it, Ukraine is facing Ukraine, and well, the allies of Ukraine, they're facing a huge stretch in what concerns damage. So, with organization, it is quite possible that we can actually defeat Poland in a battle, because we won't be fighting alone. And this is also a way, let's face it, our population, it is something I've noticed, our population tends to drop a lot more damage if they have the True Patriot medal bonus.
true. I do agree with that.
So if we are attacking directly, our population will most likely do more damage. And I can speak with myself, I drop, without using that much of a big weapons, I can drop alone 300, 400k easily.
Wow.
And that's just me alone. Okay, if I used energy bars and bazookas and whatever the tankers use, I could probably drop a few millions if I wanted. Okay, maybe not at the Kamineko level, but still could make a difference.
But however, even if we were trying to invade Ukraine, still their capital city is linked, and and our plan was, I'm not sure whether there is a viable plan. We need another country to take over their capital in order for us to invade, do a full-scale invasion.
Well, here's the thing. Uh, we attack Ukraine. Okay, maybe we take a few regions, maybe we don't. Um, Maybe Japan will declare war, or maybe Japan will decide that they don't want to get into that kind of war. Now, if Japan attacks, uh, that's again less damage going for Ukraine.
Okay.
So I don't. I really can't say what Japan will do.
I
Um, Honestly, if I was Japan, I would just move more. I would just move my people to Ukraine and fight for them.
That's what I was.
I, what were you going to say?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I really hate to cut off. Continue what you were going to say.
No, no, no. You can ask.
No, I was just thinking when looking at Japan might what you call provide damage for Ukraine most probably. That's what the huge, there is a huge fear when it comes to that.
Oh, yes, it is quite likely that will happen. Let's face it, Japan has been fighting in every battle that is against Eagle. So I do expect Japan to actually fight for Ukraine. But on the other hand, let's face it, Japan is only strong because they have Kamineko. If you take Kamineko off the equation, Japan can deal like what 5 million damage, 7 million damage, or 8 million damage, somewhat. Um, USA alone today in a battle that did 8 million damage, and we weren't even supplying.
True. But however, even if you take Kamiko, sorry, apologize if pronounce his name. Even if you take him off the equation, still there was no reason for Ukraine to for us to have a war with Ukraine. Because Ukrainian, even when I first saw them fighting against us, I think it was in Cuba. I'm not exactly sure, or in another country. We discussed this before about Ukrainian battle hunters, but still the government has no control. Yet, why would there be a war, and why would it escalate to a situation like this? Why would Poland like have a situation which is so big?
It escalated because some members of the Ukrainian government actually fought against Poland.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And I'm talking about, I can say at least two names. One of them is quite known, Inspection, one very hardcore damage seller. And I know what another one, it's XOPC or whatever his name was. He was Minister of Education in Ukraine.
Why would
They even they even fought against us, against the United States when we attacked Cuba.
Yeah, I did see that. I was also wondering because of that. I did ask this question long time ago. Are we going to declare war with them? And however, it was downplayed, saying that no, it's because of the battle hunters and
At the time, it wasn't suitable because Ukraine was in the same alliance as we were, and you can't just declare war to a country that is in the same alliance as you. It's against the rules. But there were some attempts to actually sort the situation out before it escalated into Ukraine leaving the alliance. It just wasn't possible.
Okay, that's the huge reason. However, why would inspection? I think I have seen her. Why would she declare? Why would she provide damage against Poland?
Um, Inspection is what we call a mercenary. She sells damage. Okay, she will fight for Ukraine regardless, but she sells damage. Colombia has been buying damage from inspection for quite a while. Other countries do too. Uh, it's normal. It happens. So, yes. And I believe she's not the only person who sells damage out there.
But I believe they should have some sort of ethics because, yeah, it's true, you can sell damage, but that doesn't mean you go against your alliance countries or your.
Yes, but as much as I hate what I'm about to say, because I don't exactly follow that, some people do follow things that way and see things that way. Some people see war as a business. So if war is a business, it doesn't matter who's allied and who's an enemy. You see, it's just at the end of the day, for that kind of people, the only thing that matters is how much gold they get for the damage they can put.
Hmm.
You see, that's why some Serbians that I actually spoke like a week ago, and I even had a chance to speak with the commander of the Serbian army. That's why some of them prefer actually a country who has a stable system where the citizens actually fight for their country and are loyal to their country, rather than a country that is filled with mercenaries who pretty much have no allegiance to anyone.
Agreed. There's also a new citizen who has joined our chat. Is Mitch? I can pronounce his name. I think you can see him. Mikayo, a new citizen. Is he from our country or is he Japanese?
Um, oh, Mikau. I'm not entirely sure, actually. I think he's Japanese.
Okay, I'll just send him the YouTube link. Because I have noticed a huge, what do you call, huge amount of Japanese players coming into EU's chat rooms, and he's actually really curious. Most of them come in our chat rooms, like, yeah, oh, your god is actually in our chat room, but there were about three more. I can't remember its names. One is Onzai, and then there's another one called Nitsu Kitsumi. I hope I pronounced that right. However, why there's so many Japanese citizens coming in our chat rooms?
um, that I really have no idea how to answer. Um, but let's face it, it's not just Japanese people who come to our chat. I've seen a Serbian around sometimes. Um, there's Irish people too, like Bryce Kelly. I guess we have a somewhat multinational channel, I believe. So, oh yes, and I forgot Forkilik, who actually visits us too.
Oh,
So, but yes, I've seen more Japanese around too. So I guess it's either a sign that they actually wanted to resolve something, or maybe it's not a sign of anything and they just want to lurk around.
I think it's a sign of diplomacy. They're trying to represent the government since the government was unable to represent themselves. Just a small inside joke I thought in my head.
Yeah, well, it could be that.
Because when I'm not exactly sure whether you got a message, but most Japanese citizens do message me about the diplomatic situation.
And what is the feedback you've been receiving about the diplomatic situation?
Most of them didn't like their government. I can't tell the names, but I'll just tell this that most of them didn't like what the government did, and that was a nice chat I had with a Japanese citizen. I think you had a chat with him because I told him to direct your concerns to you.
Oh, but if it is the same citizen, I'm thinking then I probably know who it is.
Yeah, most probably. I actually directed him to you. So yeah,
Oh yes, and most likely I know who it is. But yes, there's some people who raise concerns about their own government in Japan. But I've heard from Shiro that apparently they're gonna change emperor. I don't know. I heard something about that.
wow, that's really unstable. Like I was discussing yesterday with you, it's so unstable. Even I can't believe that something like that is happening. I heard something like that happening, but I actually can't believe it.
Well, I simply heard from Shiro that they might change emperor. I really have no idea yet who is going to be the new emperor of Japan. I just hope that whoever it is, he's more reasonable than Kamineko. I really hope that. But other than that, I have no idea.
Wow.
But
So
well, this game changes really fast. Um if there is something this game has in common with the Republic is that sometimes what is true today, tomorrow can be a big lie because it is already outdated information. So we never know what could happen. Who knows? Today we have some tension with Japan, and tomorrow we might be best friends.
who
We
knows?
never know what could. We never know what could happen.
I am actually okay being neutral with Japan when coming to the war with Japan because I believe that most of the citizens, despite the even though the government says one thing, most of the citizens are quite friendly, which is why it's good to maintain a neutrality stance for now. But however, we have to keep in mind that there could be a war in the future with them.
Oh yes, I know. Especially now that we are attacking a close ally of them,
Yeah,
and they hate Eagle, and we are part of Eagle.
just curious. I think last week you were discussing how Eagle is dying, but still, why are we still maintaining? Why are we still in the alliance if we know it's dying and to fail?
No, it's not dying. Um, here's what happened. This is the information from the latest meeting that happened 2 days ago. The alliance is not dying. The problem we faced is that the HQ members, all of them, myself with no exception, we all have our real lives too outside of the game. So, but it is unreasonable to ask that you have like three people alone changing the battle priorities 24 hours, 7 days a week. Three people will not do it, mostly because by the time Darkwish is awake, I'll probably be at work or sleeping. By the time I'm awake, Darkwish is probably sleeping or busy with something else. Um, and we have the problem that the military commander is not very active. So guess who gets all the responsibility? Well, that's right, me and Darkwish.
Must be.
So so pretty much so sorry. I just saw a message and I had to laugh. Uh, the message says, I hate the weekly event.
Oh yeah, the weekly event. I hate that smell. No one can do it.
Well, anyway, getting back on track, that was pretty much the main issue. Was that and some countries were actually complaining that the HQ was a little inactive, and they're right. It's unreasonable to ask that two people alone manage the entire alliance. It's crazy. And even more crazy being one of those two people a president, which is my case.
What?
So so that was pretty much what was debated. And I know Darkwish is still selecting more people to actually help out. So we'll have a bigger HQ very soon. I believe there is a new Secretary of Foreign Affairs being selected as well. So there are actually news about Eagle. Um, I was actually asked to put up an article about Eagle, but I still haven't had a chance yet. I'll most likely do it. I don't know, maybe tomorrow, maybe in 2 days, most likely. Uh, I figured that I wanted to get the suggestions for the game out since I felt like I really had good ideas, but they weren't being voiced. So I figured, well, why not now? You see? So I just kind of placed that ahead. So those were the things that were debated in the alliance meeting. There's also new countries being voted in, and well, and there was a small situation with Croatia that has been resolved as well.
It must be hectic for two people to manage the alliance.
Um, it is, and the other day I had a small argument with the president of Lithuania. Um, I can't blame him. I actually understand him. I was on IRC, but I was at work and I was somewhat busy. And the president of Lithuania showed up in the alliance meeting, in the alliance room, sorry, and he kept shouting something like, "Someone change the battle priorities. I'm gonna kill someone," and all that. And and I responded, "Wait, I'm busy, but I'll change them." Uh, and we somehow got in a small argument. And at a point, I was like, "Hey, I know you're right. We haven't been changing the priors much. There needs to be organization, but I can't do it all alone. I'm at work for damn sake." Uh, so these are the kind of things that we need to fix. But we are on the right track. At least it won't be just a two-man job anymore, which is a good thing.
Agreed. Just curious. I'm looking at the world map to plan our next strategy. I have noticed there are many countries not being introduced in the game. Do you think there will be more countries introduced?
Um, I haven't heard the admin speaking much about that, so I don't think so for the time being.
Uh,
Unless you know, unless you know, a lot of citizens from a country that is not on the map actually join and they ask the admins to be added, then in that case, maybe. But other than that, I don't think so.
okay, never mind then. But it's great. If there was more countries, it's because that would be great. Because I plan to manage some small country with another account. That's the plan.
Well, let's face it, in this game it's easier to manage the United States than to manage, for example, Albania.
Yeah, Albania has too many wars and too many issues, so I can understand why.
Ah, yes. No, I actually spoke a lot with the Albanian president about that.
Just curious, why did Japan switch borders? Because Japan actually controlled that part of Russia.
Well, they were afraid we were going to attack them in Russia, so they traded the region so we would be forced to attack their cores.
That's kind of
Problem
interesting.
is, problem is, or funny part is, we never had really intentions to actually attack them. Most of the time I was playing at defense.
Uh, it's kind of funny because we thought that they would attack us.
Well, they pretty much gave us the chance to attack Ukraine.
It's a direct open battle, so we can take the territory and colonize it in the future. That was the plan.
Yep.
Just curious, since our import tax is 99%, how is the trade? Like, how is our alliance doing when it comes to the economic aspect of the game?
Well, that's the beauty of the import taxes. You see, um, we have the full bonuses, so we don't need to import anything. That's why the import tax is at 99, because we don't need to import anything. But if you want to export, the taxes the taxes that will have effect will be the taxes on the destination country. So, for example, if I sell a hospital, the person that is buying the hospital will pay a tax for importing the hospital. We don't pay taxes for exports.
Mm, curious. Just small question when it comes to the hospital. I believe Mr. Sharp was making a building hospital. How was that going?
Uh, well, he's not the one building the hospital. Actually, I am the one.
Oh, okay.
I'm the one who has the company. Yes. Now, we do have a few issues though. So here's the thing. This is a somewhat partnership me and Mr. Sharp did together. So here's how it works. Mr. Sharp gathers the materials. I gather the workforce and place the materials in place. Problem is, I do produce a fairly reasonable amount of house raw materials which are required to make the hospital, but I don't have enough storage to be able to have 48K raw materials in order to produce 20 something percent of the hospital daily. Not to mention the cost is quite high. So here's what I've been doing. I've been building the hospital slowly until I can actually upgrade my storage. And as soon as I upgrade my storage, I'll massively buy the raw materials out of Mr. Sharp so I can try to boost it up to 40 or 50% of the hospital done. And I'll keep doing that until the hospital is complete.
Hmm. But small question, you could have just used the money from treasury as it's going for the country.
Now, Now that's a quite interesting question, and and well, and a very very ambiguous one too. You see, I could I could propose a donation of gold to myself, ask Congress for permission to use the money and all that, and actually put it on the budget. Those are things I could do as president. Now, now comes the part of the admins. You see, for some reason, if you use the money to build companies for yourself, the admins will hammer you out.
Oh, there'll be
Exa-
an
I'll give you the example of what happened to the Brazilian president. He took money, he built weapons companies with the country treasure money, with authorization from Congress, but still, he did it. And he was going to use the companies to actually supply the Brazilian people. What did the admins do? Well, the admins showed up, removed all the companies, confiscated all the gold, and got done with it. Why? Well, because they thought that Phantom BR, who is the president of Brazil, was using the companies for his own profit, when in fact it was never that the intention.
That's why the proposal for organizations is been always discussed because of this issue at hand.
Yep. And that is one of the reasons why I suggested national companies, because if it is Congress enforcing it, and if the game actually enforces it, then the admins can't ban the person for having national companies. It is also the reason why I told Hanbury to not build the weapons company he want the weapons though the food company he wanted to build for the DOI, because I know there is a high likelihood that an admin will just show up, remove the company, and we lose the gold.
True. Yeah, I think it's a measure to prevent PTO, but however, it's creating a huge other issues which is hampering the economy of the country.
Ah, yes. Well, let's face it, most of the country's economies are privately based. So why? Because the admins don't actually allow you to use the the treasury money. I
Then,
mean, we have 600 gold sitting in the treasury, money that we could actually use to make infrastructure and stuff like that. Why do you think, if you go look at the comments from my latest article, why do you think you have like four, five, or six people saying very supported for the national companies? It's because they know it is the only way they can actually do something with the country, and it is also the reason why I suggested it.
agreed. I'm just curious. Another new law named national referendum. Oh yeah, it is. Basically it's like a survey.
What did you say?
National referendums. Is this law like a survey where the population gets to participate?
Well, my idea was actually very simple. So let's imagine you're president and you want to ask the population a question. For example, like I did with the war with Japan. So I placed the question saying, should we go to war with Japan? And then I placed the answers. Yes, no, and then other, and then I put a field so people can do comments. Now, as soon as the referendum is proposed, the message goes for all the citizens of the country, and the citizens get a box, a link or something they can click and answer the referendum during 24 hours. As soon as the 24 hours are gone, the referendum closes, and the results would come inside the administration page. You could see a law saying national referendum. You would click it, and then it would show up a pie chart with the question and the answers tally. It wouldn't be, it wouldn't be the type of law that enforces anything. It would be just like an information,
Oh,
something something for the president and Congress to know, like something for the government to have a pulse on how the population feels about something.
oh, okay. So it's a reinforcement mechanism, like a non-referendum that happens in real life. So, okay, that makes sense now. Uh,
Yes, that was pretty much my idea. I think it's better. It helps democracy.
yes, it does. I thought that it will enforce like your declaration of war. What if everybody wants war? They would vote yes or no, and they need to enforce that Congress will declare war. That's what I was thinking. But this way, it's better because
No, basically the referendum would be something informative. It's good to have a referendum because the referendums give you what the population think, and well, the government should always act according to what the population wants.
just
So let's say if for example the majority of the population wanted war with Japan, I would probably have declared war.
Just curious. I think this might have been asked, but I'll ask this again. It's a game mechanism. Let's say I'm a congressman, and let's say Zarmanism is a congressman, and let's say there are two congressmen in the country. Let's say I vote for declaring war against Ukraine, and Zarmanism votes against. Now there's a tie. How to break the tie between those two? That's what I was curious.
You mean in a congressional law, how the tie breaks?
Yeah.
Well, that's a that's a very simple question. Let's see. If we're talking about a normal law, you always need a majority, a simple majority. If there is a tie, there is no majority, so the law fails.
Oh, okay. I thought it would be like proportionality or just
But but if you're talking about an impeachment, for example, requires 66% or two-thirds to pass.
Mm.
So if it doesn't get two-thirds in favor, it fails.
Oh, there we got another view, and okay, he left. He or she left. Okay, never mind. Oh, yeah,
So
viewer. Wonder who it is.
yes, when you actually have, if you don't have a majority, the law won't pass. That bit is quite straightforward. It is worse if you're talking about a party president election or a congressional election. And that was the part of the tiebreakers I mentioned on my article. That was something I've learned a few days ago because of the party president elections. So here's what happened. four people ran for the Democratic Socialist Party presidency. Let's see if I remember who they were. They were Wookie Jack, Thomas Killa, Sar, and Oblige. Oblige lost, and there was a tie between Thomas Killa, Sar, and Wookie Jack, with 4 votes each. Guess who won the election? Yes, it was Wookie Jack. Why? Because he was the first candidate, which is a very, very bad tiebreaker.
Yeah, it is a really unfair time break. I was wondering what.
It is unfair because, I mean, let's face it, if I if I just decide to run for party president, do nothing the entire month, and stay on the ballot, and let's imagine next month people vote for me again, but somehow there is a contender and we tie, I win still. Why? Well, because I candidated first,
Hmm.
which is unfair. That's why I suggested let's make it with in-game experience. Because someone who has a lot of in-game experience is likely to be a lot more active, even if the person is just a two-clicker. At least they will log into the game to do stuff.
Agreed. Okay, right now we'll be taking a break. We'll be taking a 5 minutes break. I'll be playing another song for you guys. I'm still looking for this one. Can't remember the name of it.
Okay.
What's that song? What's the name of it? I can't remember. It's a good one. Uh, should I got prepared with this earlier? Let's see. Oh yeah, okay. This is the song. J Ray. It's not a rap song. It's a soulful song. I would like to say. You were there. That's the song.
You drew a line when I myself was unable. I have your sweet tears to thank for growing to be the stable. This one is just for you. You were there in my life since I opened my own and find the way. This went all away. You knew the mistakes that many can know that you are in the rain, but a better face. You drew the line when I was unable. You say you are not. But it's all I wanna say is I love you. How can I pay you back? Time passes way too fast. Hold on to all the things that made you leave. Promise I will fight. I'll fight through all my darkest past so I can show you how much I love this. You drew the line when I was so unable. You say you are not perfect. I don't think you do. I have yours when I testify for growing to be the same. When it all comes down to what matters, that you are there for me, for me. What matters that you are there for me, for me. I love you.
Yeah, that was J Ray. You were there for me, or you were there. It's a great soulful song, and I really love the music and the drummer. The drummer is from my favorite band. I can't remember the drummer for my favorite band. It's called Pilot, the band's name. It's a metal slash uh, emo band or slash Finnish metal band. It's lovely dance. So, yeah, back to the discussion. Yes, we talked about Ukraine, we talked about Japan. Now I'm just curious. We talked about the future plans for our AMUs. One thing we haven't talked is how to protect ourselves from PTO threats. And it's shocking that Wookie won election, but there were rumors that it was a PTO, it wasn't, or it was something similar to a PTO. How can we protect our country from a PTO threat?
Hey, Arif. Well, well, if there is a PTO threat, here's the thing. Wookie Jack is not exactly a PTO threat. In fact, he's an active player in Erev. He used to be in the USA there. Now, here's the thing. So we couldn't exactly say that it was an anti-takeover operation. The problem is that Wookie Jack is not very active here. Now, whether he will be more active or not, I really have no idea. But hopefully, hopefully it should happen. So well, he either gets more active or I have no idea what's gonna happen. But well, if we're talking about the PTO, well, here's a few things that can happen. Let's imagine a group of Serbians or Bulgarians or whatever just show up and decide to try to take over. Even if they manage to get a few people in Congress, congressmen can't approve citizenships. Only two people can give citizenship, and those are the president and the vice president. No one else can. So, okay, usually it goes with the IES. The IES runs the background checks, and then the president or the vice president approves whoever gets approved and denies whoever gets denied. And that's the way it goes because it is the law. But let's imagine in worst case scenario that a few congressmen get in, which I find it hard because neither of the current party presidents will likely run those type of people. But okay, let's imagine some do. Even if they do, the worst they can do is use their two proposals to annoy, because most of the Congress will simply vote them out. Second part is if they can't use citizenships, they can't bring more people in. So they would have to actually use multis. If they use multis, the moderators can catch them and ban, which doesn't work either. And even if they PTO, if they steal money, the admins can simply ban them and return the money, which would trigger an impeachment. And even if a Serbian or someone else got elected as president, I'm pretty sure our Congress would impeach them on sight. So I guess we have pretty much everything covered for now.
Was just curious. Even though Wookie Jack won, when looking at the election results, it seems that everybody got a tie, including.
Yes, I mentioned it earlier. And he won apparently because he was the first candidate,
But
which is
however,
unfair.
I do agree with it. But however, if you look at the official results, Thomas Killa is the first, has got number one.
You mean on the list of votes or?
On the official results, number one, Thomas Killa, number two, Wookie Jack, number three, Zah 97. Even though they all
Oh,
own votes. So it's kind of confusing.
yes, it is. But apparently Wookie Jack won. And when I asked, I think it was Biscuit. Yes, that's true. When I asked Biscuit, one of the admins, what he told me was, well, he probably was the first candidate, and that's why he won. That was exactly what Biscuit told me.
There was been discussion. I discussed this with Zah 97. Do you think that they would transfer power, even though he said they won't? Do you think they could transfer the power to Zah 97, or at least to Thomas Killa?
He could, he can, but it needs to be him requesting it from the support team. Basically, in order for him to do that, he needs to send an email to the admins asking his powers to be transferred to someone else.
I'm not exactly aware about. I'm not exactly aware when it comes to the party president's powers. The only power I know that they have is they could moderate the candidate list for Congress. But what else other than that?
You mean what the party president can do?
Yeah.
Well, the party president can. The party president selects the official candidates for Congress and they make official the candidate for president.
Interesting.
It's a pretty important role.
So they can do nominations, basically.
Yes, they do the nomination. Still, typically, if we're talking about the feds, the nomination happens on the party forum, and then there's a vote if there's more than one person, and then whoever wins, the party president gives the endorsement in game.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Which is why there is a huge concern when it's coming. Did Bookie Jack send a request, or is he inactive? Because
I have no idea if he sent any request or not. I haven't heard from him.
just curious, what happens if the party president is inactive?
Um, I have no idea. I think the party president remains in power until there are new elections.
No, what I meant was, like for an example, if he becomes inactive, would it be possible for the vice president to get any power?
No, that's the problem because you don't actually have the vice president. position in game for the party. There's only the party president, so there's no way to get something like that done.
If the party president is inactive, yes, I
He
know
rem- that's the problem. Yes,
he
he
will.
remains in power until the next election.
I know he will remain in power till the next election, but just curious. Let's say he cannot nominate any candidates. No, he can nominate any country president. But if the candidate goes for election when it comes to congressional elections, would they be elected to Congress? Would any of them? If there is,
Yes, they would. That's the big problem. You see, um, anyone can candidate for Congress, and they are automatically official. The party president on the 14th of each month just removes the candidates that he doesn't want in Congress. And after that, as soon as the others are removed, everyone gets in Congress. So if the party president is inactive, the party president will not remove the people that are supposed to run. That are not supposed to run, I mean.
so there won't be a big hassle. The only hassle is that we'll have too many people in Congress.
Not too many people, but that would be a quick way to have a PTO.
Oh yeah, agree. Hopefully nothing like that could happen. Yeah, hopefully nothing like that could happen. But just curious, will Wukija come back to the game?
If he's getting back to the game, I have no idea.
Hmm. Okay. Now we discussed the NTPTO's program, what we have in place. We have discussed almost everything, but just curious, what do you think about the current status of Congress?
What do you mean about the current status of Congress?
I think I think 2 weeks ago we were discussing that this Congress will be the most active Congress, and this Congress will be will have great potential. Do you still stand by that statement? Just curious.
Um, I expected a little bit more, to be honest. I expected a little bit more, but so far at least, the congressman at least debate the few laws we've been putting up.
3 laws so far.
Yes, well, here's the thing. With a new term coming in, there will be a budget to debate, and there's a bill I have in mind too, but I won't disclose what it is. There's something I want to propose to Congress, but I will not disclose it yet.
Just
But no, don't even dare to ask. I'm not gonna answer. Sorry. Sorry, I know curiosity kills, but sometimes I prefer to go at a slow pace.
yeah, but okay, never mind then. But I was going to ask one thing, at least give a brief description. But since you read my mind, I will not ask that question. Yeah, but what do you think about the new laws which was discussed? One of the law was the Speaker of the House. How will they be elected? Even though it's still in private Congress forum, it's okay to disclose it. I believe since it's been about a week from now. But what do you think about the law that was proposed by Zan 90, by Zan 97 and I?
Um, well, that's private Congress, so I'm really not supposed to mention it publicly. However, pretty much my opinion at the time was that it needed to be better worded, and there were some concerns that I think you two should have addressed before proposing it. Okay, maybe you shouldn't have addressed it because otherwise there wouldn't be anything to debate about it. We could just go ahead and propose it and pass it. Uh, but yes, that's pretty much what I think. Now, honestly, most of the times I go with the saying if it ain't broken, don't fix it. You see, because sometimes trying to fix something that actually works will just make it worse. But you know, it's also interesting to try new things too.
True, I was.
So there's that. But well, here's also the thing. As a congressman, I would probably have debated a lot further the issue. That is, if I was a congressman, which was my previous position before I became president. However, I'm not congressman, I'm president. So most of the time, as president, I prefer to stay away from the legal as. The reason is simple. Uh, Usually, I prefer to just let Congress do their own thing. It is a bit about the separation of powers. Okay, I can propose legal amendments and that kind of thing, but that should be the job of Congress to do. If there is something, uh, if there is something that the congressman feels that should be changed, it is up to Congress to debate. Okay, the president can give an opinion or two or say a thing or two, but it's not really the job of the president to actually go and change legal as. In fact, the very own congressional code states that the president should only vote in matters that can actually voted in game too. And the reason it is like that, it is precisely also to separate the powers. The executive has a specific function. The legislative branch has its specific functions too.
I do agree with what you stated. Separation of powers is important in almost every democracy. But however, I'm not going to debate whether our country should have a separate entity or separate from executive legislative. But however, I like to point out that the best way to improve Congress or their lawmaking.
Well, well, here's the thing. You see, most of the cabinet members are also congressmen, so there's that part. So, in part, the Congress and executive have, you know, they mix at a certain point. The only place where they don't mix is precisely at the president level, because the president is not a congressman. You see, the president can vote as a congressman, but according to the constitution, the president is something entirely different and has very different powers. So that's the way pretty much I see it. Okay, the president and the executive have certain powers. Congress has other powers. It's all government, but everyone should do what the law allows them to do and what they are supposed to do.
Okay. No, what I was trying to mean was, yes, I do agree with separation of powers. But however, the best way for Congress to be more active and to propose more laws is like everyone should be active at the same time and have a like an IRC, at least an IRC, and debate about it. There is no consistency. So, basically, I've been in many what you call conferences and this stuff. So you can think a lot, and when you see other people debating, you can think a lot, and that's consistent. When it's not consistent, like I post something and then wait for 10 minutes or even a day to wait for another person to reply, the consistency is not there. And sometimes you forget what you're even proposing. Also, it happens to most people, and it's kind of annoying. That's why I propose for an at least once a week for Congress to meet up in IRC.
Well, here's the thing. Usually when I see a law, um, and I really hope congressmen don't take it personal because it's not. Uh, usually when I see a law, I try to find the most obvious flaws on it, obvious and non-obvious, and then sometimes you get a 10 or 20 line comment about something that maybe seems simple, but on the legal point of view, it's not so simple. Some people would probably say that I should have been a lawyer or something, uh, because I'm pretty much the lawyer of the devil. That's pretty much what I used to do when I was in Congress. I guess I got used to it because most of the amendments to the Constitution and to the Congressional Code were all written by me. So I end up knowing very well how the law works. And in doubt, I just go and consult it because obviously I don't know at the top of my head all the laws. I do happen to know a lot about how the system works.
But it's I really wish that you could have what do you call become a lawyer or at least a psychiatrist.
No, I wouldn't want to be a lawyer. My mom wanted to be a lawyer at some point. At least she told me so. But she ended up picking psychology. So there's that. But I don't know. If there is one thing I couldn't do if I picked lawyer in real life. You know those cases where the person is, you know for sure it's a criminal. All odds point that that person is a criminal, and you still have to defend it. Now, you tell me if you could do that, because if you can, then yes, you would be an absolutely amazing lawyer. Problem is, according to my own moral judgment, I couldn't. Even though I believe everyone has the right to have a defense, you know.
True. More than moral, I believe the problem is my morality is subjective, and everyone should be represented. But however, I believe in a mitigating factor, which is why you could represent a person who is guilty. But however, even though he is guilty, there has to be a mitigating factor, a factor to mitigate their crimes, or at least limit, at least for them to get a lower sentence, because they might be under the influence of alcohol, they might have some anger issues, psychiatric issues, etc., etc. Which is why
Yes, yes, that's true. And that's why I believe that everyone has the right to have a lawyer and everyone has the right to have representation. It's a legal right everyone should have, and everyone should have a fair trial. But here's the thing: if but I don't know if I could do it as a lawyer. I don't think I could.
which is why I'm taking prosecution.
Well, that makes sense. Who knows? You could become a prosecution attorney.
That's the plan, which is why I chose law. Hopefully, let's see.
Oh, Arif, do you have the link to the show? I was trying so
Uh,
someone can call in.
which link? The YouTube link or the or
The
the
one,
Hangout link?
the one to allow people to call in.
Sorry.
The one to allow someone to call in.
Oh, okay. That is Google Hangout. Okay, cool. I will
Yeah, I
send.
was trying to.
Okay, I'll send this to you to IRC. Okay, got it.
Okay, there we go. I wasn't entirely sure if I gave the.
No, you gave the YouTube link.
Okay, let's see. Oh, oops. Sorry. Clicked something.
Yeah, you click that game, which
Oh, yeah. I know that game where I was absolutely raped by Sar and Mr. Sharp.
I'll tell you a fun fact. I was actually raped in Zan 97 in that game. I was actually the highest score. That's why Zan 97 basically called me when I was in college and said, join the game because he wants me to beat you as well.
Oh, damn. What is so funny about beating me in the game?
I had no idea. Zan 97 just basically gave me a Google Hangout call when I was in college.
Oh, damn.
No, but luckily we were not having our lectures got cancelled. So basically, I was with a friend studying.
Oh, I have a funny question to you, Arif. I asked DMAT Catter the same question a few days ago, so I'm going to ask you this question, and I want you to answer me honestly. Do you think I'm an intimidating person, at least in game? Do you
Intimidating.
think do you think I intimidate people? I know it's an odd question, but still, I'm curious about it.
No, I'm not exactly sure, but for other players, you seem intimidating. But when I look at you, I just look like like a good friend and a great person. I don't think you're intimidating or somewhat. But I think others would be intimidated to you because through forums, you sound no offense, you sound a little bit rough on the edges.
Uh, well, here's okay. I'll just read what I'll just read I'll just read what DMAT Catter said. Where is it? Just need to find his answer because I actually asked him the same question a few days ago. Okay, now I can't find his answer.
I think he might have written an essay about it. I'm sure.
Well, okay, I can't find it, but I remember what he said. Uh, he said something like that because of my charisma, that some people may feel threatened about it.
I don't think that's the reason. However, I believe you're a great guy because I have known you for a long time, and it's if you know a person, you could say you're not an intimidating figure. So I don't feel intimidated by your presence, but I feel I no offense to you, Abe, but however, I feel you are a bit intimidating when it comes to the forums. That's and IRC.
You mean you think I'm intimidating on the forums and IRC?
IRC not much, but in forums, yes.
Why the forums?
In the IRC, you seem like a cool guy, but in the forums, like the seriousness or the what do you call it, the temperature or the situation there is a bit more intimidating. I really write stuff. That's why.
Well, well, here's the thing on the forums. Okay, maybe it's because I'm president, so I just try to focus on the serious stuff. I guess that might be the reason. So I usually don't go much on the forum games and that kind of stuff where you can actually relax a bit. So some people might actually think, "Oh, he's all serious and all that stuff." But I guess, well, maybe okay, if I get reelected, maybe after my second term, I'll just go back to my old forum relaxed type of person.
Yes, Kyler.
That's actually Tanishk.
Oh, okay. Hey, Tanesh, long time no see. It's been more than 2 years. Yeah, it's been more than 2 years.
2 years. Oh, can you hear me?
Uh, Background noise. There's a lot of background noises.
We can hear
Uh,
you.
is there background noise? I hear that my mic tends to do that.
Yeah, there's some background noise.
It's a static
Uh,
like.
did you disconnect your camera? I know it didn't show anything, just a really big green image.
Oh
N-
yeah,
now it's just black.
yeah, that's fine.
You are kind of known for this.
Uh, oh, oh yeah, Tanishk. I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Erev.
Okay.
Do you think I'm an intimidating person? I know it's a funny question, but still.
I mean, not not particularly. I mean, I don't find you intimidating at least. Maybe if someone like I don't know, like us to see somebody.
Okay, I know I'm not intimidating to you for obvious reasons. uh, but okay, what about other people? What do you think?
I think like largely you're not. Mm,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I think maybe in some situations, like if somebody does something that's not so good, you can turn on your strict side. But yeah, I think everyone does that to some extent.
Well, we both know. I think actually the only times we could say I was intimidating was when Augustus was around.
Yes. Um, for our e-revolution audiences. Oh, we refer to another game, which is become.
Oh yeah.
Shall I end the show because right now nobody's watching. Never more people, but now that's end the show.
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll end the show then. Thank you for watching E-Rail Park Radio with your host Arik and Zon97. And as always, thank you, Abe, President, Honorable President Abe, for joining our show, and as well, Manish. Hopefully, we'll see you guys next week. Be awesome.